Hey all, welcome to a different kind of video for us here. So not really a like Kickstarter or production related update, but I wanted to go through and share some of the backstory and information about our cover artist for Lady Dark #1. So we've got all the cover art in, and yeah, I think with this project I had a really cool opportunity to pull in artists who I've been following for years, people whose work I've been admiring for a long time, and with the opportunity provided by the Kickstarter campaign, was able to connect and work with a bunch of people whose work I've admired over the years and communicated with, and a few of these folks I've talked to about collaborating on projects and stuff. So this was a really cool way to kick that off. So yeah, let's start with the #1 cover here. So this is kind of the core cover. This is the standard cover, cover A, if you will, and it's by our artist Samir Samal. I've worked with Samir a bunch over the years. He did my comic Crisis Vector. This is sort of time traveling, Japanese role playing game meets Jack Kirby type of adventure book. So Samir did a really cool job on that. Samir's been blown up in the um, in the marketplace. I see he's rarely without an ongoing project these days. So really glad that we could sync up kind of one more time here for Lady Dark. So yeah, this piece actually goes back quite a way. I got the inspiration to do Lady Dark after doing a convention. I think it was like 2018, and it was just an idea that came about as I was at my table, and kind of put together a sort of outline and a mood board, if you will. So just kind of different images and things that were kind of in my mind as I was envisioning this world and this character. And this is one of the first pieces of promotional art that Samir put together. And the reason why I selected it to be our standard edition cover is because this single piece of art really powered our entire Kickstarter campaign. This was the sole piece of creative that we had around this thing, and it just really captures the spirit of the character, the spirit of the book, the kind of the rain and the gargoyles and all of that type of stuff. So um, originally um, when this was put together, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it. So it's cool all these years later to have this image on hand and be able to use it as the cover. So yeah, that's our standard edition cover. And then next up, yeah, so this one is interesting. This is a cover by an artist named Alice M. I believe they are based out of Canada, so Canadian artist. Discovered on, it was either Instagram or Twitter, but discovered online, doing all kinds of really cool, I think like video game based art, and maybe some things based on anime and stuff as well. So just a real admirer of the style and the energy. And when it came time to um, look for cover artists for Lady Dark, I wanted to kind of expand things outside the norm. So most of these folks who have done cover art, I would say superhero comics are not their thing. And it's similar to me as a writer. This is the first superhero comic I've done, so superhero comics aren't really my thing according to my track record. Although I'm a consumer of them and I love them and all that stuff. It's when people would ask me as a young person, like, "Oh yeah, comics. What's your favorite comic character?" And it's like I was reading like Sandman and Vertigo stuff, and so it was always kind of like a weird thing. It's like, oh, I'm not really following that, but as I've gotten older, you kind of circle back to these things of your youth and the foundational things. So it's like things come full circle. But one of the really interesting things and fun things with this was kind of taking this superhero concept, and it's funny because each artist, it was almost like I could feel the smile on their face. They're like, "Oh wow, I never do anything like this," and we all love comic art, and we all love that superhero stuff and that sort of pure childlike sense, but as we've gone on in our professional careers and things, it kind of takes you down different alleyways. And so I think for in the same way it was for me as the kind of writer and creator behind this, I think for a lot of these artists, it was that similar kind of journey where, oh wow, this is a really cool way for me to kind of um, tackle the type of subject matter that I maybe sort of left behind or wrote off, or was something from my youth. So it was really cool to bring in people who like superheroes are not their bread and butter, and have them apply their talents to this new superhero. And I think I look at like a lot of my favorite comics from like that sort of I think risk taking era of the 80s and 90s. Some of the cool things being done with like Vertigo and Epic and some of those different imprints, where I think a lot of the editors were doing exactly this, right? They were taking talent from all over the artistic world and pairing them with these oftentimes like B-level superheroes or superhero remnants that they had inherited, and these talents took them in entirely new directions. So it's been pretty cool to bring in kind of an eclectic mix of talent here and have them contribute to LadyDarke. So I really love this cover. I really love. I think the color aspect of it is really cool, and I think that's what drew me to Alice's work. Was really this sort of mastery of color and tone through those colors. So yeah, really really love having them involved with LadyDarke. So let's check out the next one. So yeah, this cover is by a gentleman named Will Kirkby. I've been following Will forever on Twitter. So back in the early days of Twitter, when Twitter was just like this fun place to connect about comic books primarily, and not like this, catalyst for the end of civilization. Um, I used to love just going on Twitter and I still do, but I love going on Twitter and discovering new artists, connecting with comic folk. And Will was somebody I connected with pretty early on. Was following his work for quite some time. Um, Will does a lot of work with the Critical Role crowd, so a lot of stuff in the tabletop role playing game like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. So he's done some really awesome work in that arena. So be sure to check that out. The book I love from Will is his own self published piece. It's called Grenade. It's a really awesome hardcover. I don't know. I thought I might have it on my nearby shelf here, but I don't think I do. It's a super cool book. I'll link to everybody's portfolios and their work in the comments of this video. I'll be sure to do that. But Grenade is really cool. It's got like a really great form factor. It's kind of like a book-sized hardcover, and in it, Will creates this world that's like it's sort of like a Shadowrun kind of thing. So it's very like cyberpunky mixed with fantasy, and just has all kinds of really cool like spreads in there where he's rendering like the different gear and the different equipment, and it's just super cool project and reading experience. So I think if you're a fan of cyberpunk stuff or video games, you'll definitely find a lot to love there, and also fantasy type art. So Will is kind of doing a really great blend of all of that. So I love this cover. I think he really took inspiration from a scene in the book where Laura is visiting the tomb, and this goes into play not just in issue 1, but also picks right up into issue 2. So really captures the tone of the journey that she's about to take, and I just really love all the imagery and iconography that's coming through here from the cemetery and stuff. So this is a great one, and yeah, having read Will's work and admired his art for years, it was great to have him involved with this. Okay, this is a similar story. So this is Priscilla Petras. Also connected pretty early on via social media. Been following her work for quite some time. Really excellent artist. Priscilla is doing some awesome work right now with the company AWA. I'm not sure if you all are familiar with them, but this new comic company. It's founded by Bill Jemas, who was publisher of Marvel during its like early 2000s rebirth phase. So if you enjoyed stuff like the Marvel Knights line or the Ultimates line, like Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, Bill Jemas and company were kind of the orchestrators of all that. And anyways, I believe Alex Alonso is the editor in chief over there, and it's like a who's who of talent. So they've got phenomenally talented comic book creators under this new banner. They've created this cool shared universe together. Yeah, so Priscilla's been doing work there. I believe she's done work for Image, Dark Horse, like all over the place. So fantastic artist. Definitely be sure to follow and check out her work. And yeah, so she delivered a stunning piece here. Just really love the energy behind this and the detail and just fantastic work. So as I look at the spectrum of different art styles that we have here, it makes me proud. I really like seeing all the different voices on display and all the different art styles on display with this. So yeah, thanks Priscilla for taking this on and making time in your busy schedule to contribute to our little indie comic here. And the same goes to all the artists. All these folks are working for some of the top names in the industry. So it's pretty humbling and exciting to have them contributing to our book. Okay, this is another Samir cover. So this is our Samir variant cover, which quite a few people backed on Kickstarter. So again, it's a testament to Samir's fan base that he's built out there with all the different books he's doing. This is also a kind of an older piece. I think this was a secondary piece that was developed when I was thinking of like putting together a pitch kit for LadyDarke and pitching it to publishers and stuff. So this one had been on the shelf since like I think 2019 or something, and able to find a home here as our second cover. So there's an obvious nod to Frank Miller, Dark Knight Returns here. That was per my direction. You'll also see this reflected inside the book. We've got probably more than one page, but there's one page in particular that really sticks out and is a straight up homage to Dark Knight Returns with the lightning in the background. So can never go wrong with that. It's like meatloaf at a diner. It's just comfort food for the comic book soul here. So this is a great cover here, and yeah, I think again Samir's got a pretty decent fan base, so a lot of folks opted for this one. Okay, last but certainly not least, we have this phenomenal piece of work by our very mysterious artist Wilnar. That's Wilnar, Wilnar. And so this piece really exceeded all my expectations. With LadyDarke, we obviously have this kind of almost retro superhero thing going on, although I think there's a lot of things that come in the issue that are pretty current, and especially in issues 2 and 3. But just in terms of like a compact, potent superhero story, where you feel a level of satisfaction after the first issue. I think like not writing for the trade, although we do, we are planting a lot of seeds. So I mean, it's definitely planting a lot of things for things to come. But this piece, for me, this is like classic on so many different levels. And it's funny, I was talking to the artist and mentioning that once I saw like the work in progress coming through, and I saw that kind of hand point of view angle, I started to see this on all kinds of old comic covers that I love. So like works from like from Joe Kubert and George Perez and others out there. So a lot of stuff from the the Silver Age and the Bronze Age, I was seeing this kind of approach coming, and it was really cool to see it reflected here. So yeah, like mega detailed pencil and ink art on this. For this cover, we're going to print it pretty much as you see it here. So we're going to leave it free of the logo treatment, and we're also going to keep it in black and white. That's per the artist's request, and it's fine by me. I think it's fantastic. And when you really get in there and look at the cross hatching and the inking work done here, it's truly phenomenal. So one of the things that comes to mind, first of all, when you see that boot is Batman Year One, and the iconic art that was done in that story. So I think there's some of that being channeled here, and yeah, again, just perfectly captures this character, but through the lens of a completely different artistic style. So when you take a step back and you look at all of these different covers together, you see a really incredible spectrum of artistic talent. No one artist is the same as the next. They all took this character um, and really with not much, with just a work in progress comic book, and they were able to produce some really fantastic dynamic pieces of art to serve as our covers here. So yeah, I couldn't be happier with the results. I think it's just an excellent array of art. I know if I'm a fan, of comics, a consumer of comics, if I'm looking at something and I see this kind of variety, it's the type of thing that would attract me, and that I love to see in the books that I read. So it was really cool to kind of pull this together and bring together this really diverse group of people from all across the industry to contribute to this. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this look at our cover gallery for LadyDarke #1. And yeah, I think the next video I'm going to do is probably an update video on our printing. So we're moving pretty fast there, about to submit to the printer. Then we'll have the Kickstarter backer surveys going out. And then after that, one of the things that somebody brought up that I think would be a cool idea would be I'm going to actually go through the comic. We'll do like a director's commentary of the actual comic, similar to what I've done here with the covers. But we'll go through and we'll read it together, and I'll share kind of the the thought process behind a lot of the different ideas that we have going on there. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.